It is week 5 of high school football season in Indiana. Wish TV is your home for the best coverage statewide. This week's game of the week is a matchup between two powerhouse programs. Ben Davis at Warren Central. Greg Rakestraw from ISC Sports Network is here to talk about this game, other games that you've got your eyes on. These two teams are well ranked in this year.
They always are, and both of them are 2-2. I think Ben Davis's 2-2 is a little different than Warren's 2-2. Ben Davis's 2 losses are two of the best teams in the state in terms of Brownsburg. And we saw the Giants last on my NDTV in week 1. Last week led most of the way at Center Grove, scored a fourth quarter touchdown to take the lead, then lost late to Center Grove. Warren Central is a team that returned a lot of pieces, but unfortunately lost their quarterback before the season, and they have been struggling because of that. 4 interceptions thrown in the first half of their game against Lawrence Central last week in a loss to LC. But the story of these two getting together is the fact that it's Ben Davis and Warren Central, two traditional powers. They have played every year since 1937.
Wow.
Oh, and by the way, the last time we had them, it was 57-56. Last year, with Warren scoring the last 22 points in the game to win. So if this year's game is anything close to last year's game, we're in for a treat tomorrow night.
There'll be some motivation and passion behind some plays, I would assume, tomorrow night. Do you have any predictions of what's going to happen?
In terms of tomorrow night's game, again, I think Ben Davis is slightly the better team. But again, knowing it's a rivalry game and knowing there's great talent on that Warren Central side, anything is possible. But if you have a favorite going in, probably Ben Davis tomorrow night.
This is what makes sports so exciting, though, is the rivalry, and you really don't know what's going to happen despite maybe technically a better team. What other games are you watching?
Well, I know Fishers and Brownsburg is one we want to talk about tonight, and again, Brownsburg is a team. We saw them in week 1 against Ben Davis, taking on a Fishers squad that is up and coming, if you will.
Okay.
And again, this is a year where in 6A, there is not this huge gap between the top team and everybody else the way it was the last couple of years. We're showing you Center Grove from a couple of seasons ago. There's not a dominant team this year. So the fact that Brownsburg, they could be beaten on a given week, that's a good game. I know Hamilton Southeastern and Westfield is one we want to talk about as well. HSC has had some good results this year. Westfield, been in the last 2 6A state championship games. But in terms of the best game and the best rivalry game in the area, that's the one that we have this week in terms of BD and Warren Central.
I would say you just got to watch to see how these teams grow over the season. But we're already more than halfway through.
This is remarkably just of the regular season. We're at the midway point tomorrow night.
All right.
We're only a couple of weeks away from the state tournament pairing, so it's crazy.
Any other notable things you want to mention?
No, I know we're kind of pressed for time because of breaking news, but again, Ben Davis, Warren Central tomorrow night, 7 o'clock on my NDTV.
Greg, always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Don't forget, again, you can watch every play of that rivalry matchup live tomorrow starting at 7 p.m. Sister station, my NDTV 23.